Everyone, welcome back to another Beast of the Mesozoic review. Today we're taking a look at the first of our Wave 2 Tyrannosaurs, Bistahieversor. And once again, another huge thank you and shout out to David Silva of Creative Beast Studios for sending out these early production samples for these early reviews. Your continued support of the channel is very much appreciated. And if you haven't yet pre-ordered any of the Wave 2 figures or Wave 3 figures, they're still up on the website for their pre-order prices. These are actually on the water right now. They should be shipping out, I think, at the very beginning of August for everyone that pre-order these. The pre-order price is, I believe, $80. Once they actually come in the stock, they're going to be $90 for the Bistahieversor. So if you want to save yourself $10, I highly recommend that you pre-order them before these come into stock. And I'll leave a link down below to Creative Beast Studios so you can place that pre-order. So getting back to this beautiful looking Tyrannosaur, it's so nice that Wave 2 is finally here. The Bistahieversor is one of the figures I was very looking forward to from this upcoming wave. This has a very striking color pattern to it. But let's go over the package really quick before we crack these figures open. Just love how they don't have the sleeve anymore on the box. You have the this nice cutout of the artwork of the Bistahieversor attacking a Pentasaurus, another Kirkland formation species. We got the Creative Beast logo printed up here. Bistahieversor on the side, Tyrannosaur series 1/18 scale. We got the Beast of the Mesozoic logo on the side of the box, top of the box, and other side. Then on the back, we do have some information about Bistahieversor and the other Wave 2 Tyrannosaurs. We have Teratophonus, Lithonax, Susquityrannus, Proceratosaurus, Dryptosaurus, and Chinsusaurus. I did actually get the Chinsusaurus with this figure for another early review, so expect that one to be on the channel very shortly. So enough about the packaging. Let's crack this beautiful looking figure open and take a closer look. And here is the Bistahieversor out of the packaging, and all I have to say is, wow, what a striking looking figure. It has probably one of the more simple color schemes compared to some other figures in this series, but it just works. The dark black, the bright orange, and the white, it's just all contrast nicely together to really make this figure pop on your shelves. And I just think it just has a very striking dynamic with this color scheme. Just love the brightly colored eyes. I love blue eyes on my dinosaur figures, especially on the Predators. It just really makes them look beautiful and striking. Just this whole figure is just beautifully sculpted. The head sculpt looks great. The proportions, those tiny little T-Rex forelimbs. You have that nice sturdy base, and you can obviously get some nice one-legged running poses with these figures with that nice secure rod that's mounted in the base. But yeah, all around, this figure is just absolutely gorgeous. I haven't gotten most of the other figures in the wave yet, but I have a feeling that this one is going to end up being my favorite out of Wave 2. Just all around a beautiful and striking looking figure. Now time for some measurements. This figure is 16 inches long from the tip of the snout to the tip of the tail, or 40.6 centimeters. Just about 6 inches tall to the top of the head, or 15.25 centimeters. So Bistahieversor in real life was around 30 feet long, or 9 meters. I'll put this figure in the 122 scale range. It's not quite 118 scale, but you have to remember there's a lot of part sharing with some of these figures, so we're not going to get exact scales with some of these guys. Now let's take a look at some of the accessories you get with this figure. You do get a pair of solid legs. These are the ones with the peg holes that are going to peg in to the base to keep your figure nice and stable. It only has knee articulation. The rest of it is nice and sturdy. And then you do get an articulated leg. Both of them come with these open-toed feet. And you can see all that nice detail and articulation on these legs. And then you do get a pair of walking toes, all nicely sculpted, and a pair of closed toes. And now let's take a look at the display base. This is the same base that came with the Tyrannus, although in a different color. You have some nice mossy green paint on the rocks, some nice brown coloration and washes, bring out all that detail. You even have a root growing out over here. Here is the peg for the feet to plug in. Like I said, on these solid ones, you just want to push it on. It is a very tight and secure fit once you get it on there. But keep your figures nice and secure so they don't fall on your shelves, because these figures are quite pricey. And then turning the base over, it is hollow. There is a little H clip right here that you can use to pop out to separate the base. You can use this little rock attachment and the base for different poses with the figure. So pretty cool touch for that. I have no idea why I just put that H clip, and here it is right here. You just gotta line everything up and eventually get it into place. And we're going to come back to that later because that piece is shot across the room. Found it. It's all good. So yes, it all attaches back together with that H clip. It's a very, very tight fit on this one, probably because this is brand new out of the box. But I'm sure if you take that off a few times, it'll eventually work itself in. And now let's zoom in and take a look at some of the finer details on Bistahieversor. Look at that absolutely beautiful head sculpt. Like I said, all this black, orange, and white just makes for a nice, really striking looking figure. Just love that bright blue for the eyes. I think it looks absolutely amazing on these large theropods. You can see there is some nice gray dry brushing for the horns and crest along the top of the head. Look at all that nice fine scale detailing. You can see the nostrils are sculpted in right here. You can see the ear canal back here. Let's zoom out a little bit. My hands are shaking a lot today, probably because I've done 3 reviews already. You get some more nice large scales down here. And then open the mouth up. You have this nice deep, deep purple mouth. I absolutely love how that looks. You can actually see the nasal passages sculpted on the roof of the mouth. Inside the mouth, I feel like the details are just a little bit flat, especially compared to the Tyrannosaur, the T-Rex. The T-Rex is a much larger figure. I just feel like they're just a little bit flat looking, but it's really not that big a deal because you just have this nice gloss coat on here that shows off all this nice purple inner mouth detail. Very, very cool looking. The teeth are all nicely painted, and we got the lip look on this, and it just looks so much better than the teeth hanging out. I'm just not a fan of the lipless look. I do love PNSO figures, but I'm just kind of getting a little tired of all the teeth hanging out. I just think the lip look looks so much better. And let's take a view of the figure from the front. We do have that nice, beautiful binocular vision, which Tyrannosaurs were known for. Here's a view of the top of the head, and then going down to the body. We got more beautiful, beautiful scale detail all the way down. It's just a nicely, finely textured figure, and just all that contrast and bright orange and black really make this thing pop. Then going down to the hands, you can see the hands are nicely sculpted, nice sharp claws at the end of those 2 clawed fingers. You can see nice details in the palm, and then going down to the body, there's some nice folds and wrinkles and more nice scale detail. On the underside, belly is nicely done. You have a little bit of blue dry brushing for the underneath of the lower jaw, throat, and the chest area. You can see all that nice detail popping all over the place. And then going down to the legs, nice bulging calf muscles, nice thick, powerful looking thighs. The feet are nicely sculpted. The toe claws are decked out, and some nice glossy black paint. You have a little bit of brown for the scales on the feet. And then going down to the tail, more of that black and orange, almost all the way down to the tip of the tail. Here's a view of the body from the top. You have that nice barrel chest, nice wide hips on this figure. All around, just a very, very cool looking figure. It's absolutely love the head sculpt on this thing. It's just truly beautifully done. Now for articulation, these newer Wave 2 figures do have better neck and head movement. There was a lot of criticism with the Wave 1 figure, especially the T-Rex, with the way the hoodie came up and just kind of restricted the head movement. But David went back and made some adjustments with these and the Wave 3 figures. So as you can see, let's start with the mouth first. The mouth can open up pretty wide, and then for this joint right behind the head, you do get some nice upward movement on that joint and a little bit of downward movement. You just have to readjust this hood to close in that gap on here. And then from the front, you do get some nice side to side movement on that joint. The collar on here is actually quite flexible, so you could get some nice side to side movement, and even up. And let's get the camera to focus in on that down movement on that back neck joint. Going down to the arms can move forwards and backwards, and they can swing out on a hinge. You do have elbow articulation. You get some backwards and forward movement, and wrist articulation and rotation. And then going down to the mid part of the body, you do have a cut joint right in the middle right here that allows for some upward and downward movement and some side to side movement. And then going down to the back legs, they can go backwards and forwards pretty far. You do have a bend at the knee. This is the articulated leg. You do have articulation at the ankle and some rotation. The same thing on the feet, tilted and rotation on the feet. Going down to the tail, you get some nice side to side movement up and down. Another joint right here, same thing, side to side, up and down movement. And for the tail tip, you do get side to side and up and down, and the end of the tail is made out of a bendable flexi wire, so you can get some nice extra posability on that tail. So all around, the articulation is pretty good on here. I do like the improvements to the head, allow it to look up and look down a little bit. Like I say, you just have to readjust that collar just a little bit. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the articulation on these Wave 2 figures. Moving on with comparisons, first up here it is with the Hammond Collection Robert Muldoon. He's the 3 3/4 inch figure, so he's roughly in that 1/18 scale range, so they do scale with the Tyrannosaur series. And next up here it is with Mattel's take on Bistahieversor. This figure actually came out maybe like a month or so ago, but you can see the clear night and day difference between Mattel's wild acid trip take versus Beast of the Mesozoic, more scientifically accurate take on this species. And next up, let's do with some of the Wave 1 Tyrannosaurs. Here it is with the juvenile T-Rex, and here it is with Guanlong. And next up here it is with the Utyrannus, and I have to say I really like the Utyrannus. I had a lot of fun playing around with it. The joints on the Bistahieversor feel a lot smoother. The material used for the torso and the neck seems to be a little bit thinner to allow a little bit more flexibility with posing. The Utyrannus is a feather figure, so there's obviously thicker layers of plastic on this one, but I really enjoy playing with Bista. It's just a really fun figure. Not knocking this one, but just a little bit more enjoyability with Bista versus Utyrannus. And next up here it is with the massive 1/18 scale Tyrannosaurus Rex. They just look absolutely great together. Can't wait to get the whole entire Tyrannosaur series, just have everything displayed together. I think it's really, Dave is really knocking these out of the park. And the stuff with Cyberzoic, oh my god, I'm gonna end up going broke with all this stuff coming out from Beast of the Meso. But you know what? These figures are amazing, and I am a-okay with that. Let's do a few of the Ceratopsians. Here it is with Zuniceratops, and next up here it is with Ionosaurus, and here it is with Old Buck, the Styracosaurus. And lastly, here it is with Pentaceratops. Bistahieversor and Pentaceratops did live in the same ecosystem, so it's really cool that we're finally getting some of the Tyrannosaurs to display with our Ceratopsians, and it really looks like this Pentaceratops can absolutely muckle this Bistahieversor. But yeah, they look really cool together, and I can't wait to pose them attacking each other on my shelves. So final thoughts on Beast of the Mesozoic Bistahieversor. I absolutely love this figure. I'm sure I'm going to say that about a lot of the figures in Wave 2 coming out. Obviously I'm a huge fan of Beast of the Mesozoic on this channel, but this Bistahieversor, this really stands out from among the current Tyrannosaurs I have. I just absolutely love the coloration on here. And I actually forgot to mention it early on in the review. The coloration is actually based off the red-bellied black snake. So here's a picture of it so you can see where the inspiration was taken from. Very rare miss by me. And did I forget to show the card off too? Man, oh man, did I forget things during this review because I got so excited about it. Here's that artwork of the Bista attacking the Pentaceratops with some facts on it. So yeah, all around, absolutely love this figure. I like the adjustments to the neck articulation. Much more fun to pose around and get more movement than the 1/18 scale T-Rexes. And it just looks really cool next to the Pentaceratops. So I'm glad we're finally getting some of the theropods that preyed upon these Ceratopsians and displayed them alongside each other. And like I said at the beginning of the review, these are still up for the pre-order price. It's $80 right now once they come into stock, which should be the next few weeks. They're going to jump to $90. So the link to Creative Beast Studios is down below in the description if you want to secure that pre-order price. So that will do it for the review. I do have the Wave 2 Chinsusaurus, and I actually do have the new fan choice Dromaeosaurus 1/18 scale figures. So I'll be reviewing both of those relatively soon on the channel, so stay tuned for all that. I have a bunch more stuff coming in. I got more Mattel stuff, Holland Good. There's just a lot of dinosaur product lately to keep the channel going, so stay tuned for all that. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on the channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously, and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.